Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. Welcome back to the show. 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 I'm Billy, the host.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. We're joined today by producer Trent Ludzak.
Hello.
We are in Trent's Unnamed Studios in beautiful Marietta, Georgia. And today with us we have stand-up comedian and author of his new memoir, The King's Guard, Plug Chapman.
Yeah, man. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Same old soup, just reheated, you know. What's the word, fellas?
Is this your first book?
Yeah, man. First and only book. You know how long that shit takes to write a book? Jesus Christ.
ChatGPT can do it in like 10 minutes.
Well, I started before that was around, so I had to actually go through the trenches of writing a book. I might write another one now with ChatGPT. Yeah.
Who was the king that you were guarding?
So the book is a memoir about working with my famous uncle that I don't have a good relationship with. So
Okay.
a lot of people wanted to know like the backstory of how things fell off the rails.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I kind of like when you read the book, you'll see he's more of just like a selling point because the book is about me and all my fuckery in my life. So I just tie him into it.
Yeah, I assume there's a lot of humor. In the book.
It's a lot. I took that book to a bookstore and tried to get it shelved, and the lady was like, well, what section would it go in? I was like, shit, humor, self-help, motivation. It could be in a few.
Just start leaving it at bookstores.
You know what? The copies are so expensive to print. I ain't leaving shit. I didn't want to leave the one she asked for.
Yeah.
Hell no. Maybe when I get out the red, then I'll.
You could sell them at Lenox Mall. Just walk around, like it's a CD.
Lenox Mall too dangerous now. I'm better off at Greenbrier. Lenox Mall, yeah, any mall that got gun, what's the things? When they got the metal detectors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't want
a
to
lot of gun violence at Lenox Mall.
When I was growing up, Lenox, like when your mom said we going to Lenox, you'd be like, what? I'm going to get some good shit today.
Yeah.
Now, Nah, I'm good.
I used to valet over there.
Oh, that sounds like good money.
They got the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, don't take no women there.
It was good money, but I was addicted to drugs and alcohol at the time, so
That's where all the money went.
yeah. I ended up quitting.
To do drugs or just quit?
A little bit of both.
You know you got a problem when you choosing weed over your money. You know what? I'm going to go get high. Damn, that $150 today.
Yeah, pretty much.
Been there.
It's good money though, and you can meet a lot of famous people at Lenox Mall valeting.
Did you
No
ever
pull
take
up.
anybody car for an extra spin? I always wanted to do that.
Not like outside of the parking lot, but sometimes the ones that were like the Hellcat, Dodge, and stuff like that, I would open it up a little bit.
What?
let
In
it-
the parking lot?
Well, just like
You just zooming through Macy's.
it's a big It's a big parking lot, man. Just not, but just for like a little bit.
Yeah, Lenox pretty big. Yeah.
But I will say I got that job by lying about being able to drive a manual, and I just learned how to drive manual on people's nice cars.
Oh, you fucker. well, with all things considered,
They got
I
the
would-
money to fix it.
that, and I would rather you learn how to drive my manual than burning out my clutch. At least you knew how to drive the hard car. You know what I mean? He's like, hey. Hey, I can respect
They're like,
that.
you could drive a manual, right? I was like, yeah. Yeah, I got it.
You ever
all the
wreck
time.
anybody's shit?
One time I did.
What
It
kind
was-
of car?
It was I had to drive this big jacked up truck.
Yep.
And had these big wide tires, and I was turning out of the front valet lot, and I like clipped Bentley's bumper. Yeah, it was parked right up front.
Had the guy already gone in the mall?
That was half the reason I quit too. 'Cause
I
I was
bet.
like, I don't like this. I don't want to.
That's a lot of pressure.
I don't want
man.
somebody to be mad at me because I messed up their Bentley.
That's a lot of pressure. Man. I had a job as a porter once where I used to take cars from dealerships to other dealerships.
Yeah.
That was the greatest job ever until that drug test came. Yep, that has ruined a lot of my jobs.
Yeah.
Drug tests. Yes.
Yeah, that's not good, probably. But, well, look where you are now. You're
No drug
a
tests.
stand-up comedian, an
Yeah.
author. You teach a comedy class. I want to ask you about that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about comedy classes.
What do you think is the biggest misconception?
I think people believe that you can't teach anybody how to be funny, and they are absolutely fucking right. That's not my job. Like, you know how much money I would charge if I could make somebody funny?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel like we also write jokes for people. That's also not the case. Now, I'll say,
You ever wish you could? Like, come on, man. If you just said this, it'd be funny.
well, it's kind of, I run my class more like a workshop. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like pretty much if we just decided to go in the living room, hop up on the mic, and kind of run through bits, you know,
Yeah.
you might see someone be like, no, man, you ever thought about this angle? Or that's the most that I do. But I
Yeah.
try to encourage people to, like, because it's something that got you to the class. It's something that made you think you were funny enough to do stand-up. And so I try to help them, like, tap into that part of their life. But a lot of people are scared to, like, really dig into what's funny about their life. And, oh, I hate my wife, but I shouldn't talk about that. She'll be at the show. I'll be like, you should talk about that. That's exactly what you do. Yeah, that's how you do it. But my first class,
She'll be impressed by how funny you are.
right, or you're gonna be on the couch. It's gonna be no middle. My first class though, I took the time to, like, read everybody's, like, material and, like, punch it up, and it was extra. I just made a bunch of extra work, and
Yeah.
the thing that made, this is my first class, and so the thing that made me go fuck that, I literally spent like 2 hours on this guy's, like, bit one night. I'm just like, oh yeah, he's gonna love this bit. I get to class, send it to him. I get to class, and I'm like waiting on him to do the bit. He's like, oh yeah, man, I just decided I ain't really want to do that bit anymore. I was like, the fuck you ain't. But now 5 years, 3-4 years. What I've been doing it 4 years now, 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I'm not. Nah. The only people that I would probably go the extra mile to help are the people who don't want to do stand-up. Like, if this is like a bucket list item and you just want to bang out this show and then you just go walk into the sunset, I'm more likely to help them, more hands-on. But if you want to do stand-up now, bitch, you finna get an accurate account of what this shit is like. Like, this is an island. So, yeah. We'll give you some directions. Swim your ass back. Like, nah, bro.
On an island, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, bro. Because I would be doing you a disservice.
Because I guess, like, a lot of stand-up comics had to kind of make the choice that they were going to do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could do this. I could make a room full of people laugh, and I want to try.
Yeah. I
So-
encourage everybody, though, at some point in your life, you should hit an open mic and just, because it's two things that everybody thinks they can do: play professional sports and damn be funny. That is, and men porn, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I tell people, like, man, it's places where you can go and eat shit and nobody's ever gonna know. So you should do that. Because you're gonna eat shit.
You think your famous uncle is good at stand-up comedy?
I can't give him credit because
I'm kidding.
no. That's a good question. Like, I've seen, like,
as a stand-up comedy teacher,
every now and then. What's funny, when he first started, he got booed like a month in, and I made a video. I was like, hey, you can pull up on me, bro. Like, it's all good. I got you.
That's a lot of pressure, though, being a rapper and then going to stand-up.
You know what's funny to me? And this is me. It's a difference between laughing and having a sense of humor. Bro don't have a sense of humor. And so when I heard he was doing comedy, I was like, how?
Yeah.
I was like, how?
Yeah.
So I can't really accredit him with being funny because you traveling around with some of the funniest comedians in the game. You know, you got Ronnie Jordan, you got the K-Dubs. You can't tell me they not helping you with the material.
Yeah.
Whereas we got to fucking go bomb and figure this shit the fuck out on our own. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, nah, I can't.
How long you been doing stand-up comedy?
Oh, man, since 2010.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been in the game for a minute. Yeah,
Wait,
it's been a
you
minute.
started in Atlanta?
No, I was in Cali. I went out to L.A. back in January. I moved to L.A. January 2010, and by that summer, because I moved out to do music, I used to like manage artists and like songwriters and shit, and that did not work the fuck out. But as fate would have it, the studio I used to go to was walking distance. I used to have to walk past the Ha Ha Cafe every day. And I'm not really a fucking Jesus freak or nothing. Like, I ain't been to church since my mom's funeral a couple years ago. Like, I don't really do the religion thing. But I believe, like, when you pray, you kind of giving yourself a pep talk. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you reminding yourself, where you're trying to, if you listen to your gut, the universe kind of will line up things and tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
And I was out there living shit, and so I just prayed one night. I was like, hey, man, this music shit ain't working out. So what the fuck do I need to be doing? If it's porn, just say that, Lord. Just say it, you know. I know where Sherman Woods is. I know where the valley
Hey,
is. Just say
man,
that, Lord.
It's
And
never too late.
Nah.
OnlyFans now.
Nah, you know what? I have been thinking about sending me an OnlyFans. I want to read a bunch of stories of women naked. You know what I mean? That'd be fun. But I remember waking up like 3 or 4 in the morning and just thinking of like humorous shit. Like, I just would wake up in the middle of the night and would think of like funny stuff that happened to me in my life. And I started writing it down. And about a month after that, I went to it's a show at the Laugh Factory called Chocolate Sundays. And I went, and one of my buddies was
They
hosting.
don't book me there.
Man, they don't book me neither. Man, I called to try to get on the mic. The open mic is 3 minutes. That's like the bullet spot.
Yeah.
This is 2010. I called to get a date. Somebody finally answered the phone, and she's like, oh, yeah, let me check the calendar. Give me 1 second. She comes back, and I'm sitting there like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I got January 2013. I was like, bitch, I might not be alive. What the fuck? But I go to a show.
Should have taken it.
And I was back here by then. I went to a show and I saw a comedian that I knew was funny. Like, I had seen this dude on Comic View, Def Jam when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And he ate a bag of dolphin dicks on stage. Nice. And I was just like, oh, this can happen to anybody. So I ain't really got to be scared of.
Yeah, I don't think I was really ever scared of bombing. Like, once I realized I wanted to do it, I was going to do it either way. Like,
yeah. I tell people, man, bombing is not really the worst thing that can happen in stand-up. Like, that's a part of the game, you know. Some nights it just ain't your fucking night.
I started out, too, at Swayze's. Like, all my friends would be hanging out there, and they'd be yelling stuff at me. Like, talk about the time we did this or
that
time
helps.
we did that.
Or hurts.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just, like, how it was. It was just, like, one of those things, like, I would jump on a show just to get all my friends to come there to hang out. And
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
it's like having a moving party, but for stand up.
Yeah,
hey, I'm having a party. Hey, grab that TV. We're gonna move it over there to the. No, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, so the guy sometimes, my friend would be working sound. Even once I started doing like my own thing and being like, all right, I'm gonna do material and stuff. The sound guy would be back there like yelling shit at me through the mic.
That's annoying.
Well, it was like fun, you know. It was like we didn't care. We were just
shut up, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'm working here.
I used to do a thing called Nut Busters with my friend, where we would freestyle rap, and I would go get a bag of walnuts, and then we would smash them with a hammer
on stage.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's performance art. It's
interesting. Use a prop comic.
You wouldn't understand. It is.
I do not. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's avant-garde.
That is hilarious. Yeah, bombing, man, that shit is... Comedy will humble you.
Yeah.
Like very quickly. You think right when you think you figured that shit out. Like I remember having like a really good set in LA one night. And this old dude, he comes up to me after the show. He's like, "Man, I've been watching comedy in this town a long time.
Yeah.
And you were good, young man." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Thank you, granddad. I appreciate it." He's like, "No, no, no. I've seen all of them. I've seen Pryor. I've seen them all. You're good, man." I'm like, "Cool." So I'm like riding this high horse, right? My buddy called. This was in Hollywood. About 20 minutes later, I knew to take my ass home and just ride that wave for the night. Buddy calls me. He's down in like Inglewood. And he's like, "Hey man, we got this comedy night. It started in like an hour, man. I told the people that you was good, man. Come through." So even the girl I was dating at the time, she was like, "Baby, sure you just don't want to go home and just go back out tomorrow?" I'm like, No, I'm about to be a star. The guy said I was a star. So I go down here to this spot. It's fucking packed. Now this is all urban. This is urban crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It was a place called actually was that Inglewood? Yeah. It's a place called Maverick Flats. I'm not sure if it's still open, but the legendary he's passed on, but a guy named Robin Harris, that was like his legendary club. So I get there. So my buddy introduces me to the host. And the host is like, "Oh, yeah, this guy you was talking about? All right, you first." At the time, I was so new.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like, to not get too high, like, before you go on stage or be
Right.
drinking and shit. So I done made it in my mind. The old man said I was a star, goddamn.
Yeah.
So it's like an hour before showtime. So I'm out there on the patio smoking with people and fucking just, it's women like staring at me and shit like, "Oh, he's a comedian." Dude, I bombed so bad. I was supposed to do, at the time I had like, I thought I had a tight 5. It was more like a tight 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking back on it, might have been a tight 45 seconds. But so the funniest shit ever. You know you bombing when you like hitting your what's supposed to be your punchlines and the crowd just goes, yeah. So I get off stage. I'm supposed to do 5. I don't make it that far. I do about 2.25. And I get off stage and the host gets up. The host, he's on Jamie Foxx's what's that shit? The Foxhole.
Oh.
That's his show on
It's
XM.
on TV?
Yeah, it's on XM radio.
I don't have radio either.
And the host gets up and he's like, "Hey, plug, how long you been doing stand up?" And before I can say anything, this black woman in the audience, she's like, 5 damn minutes. Bro, that shit hurt. Yeah, it's like, I tell comics.
Did everybody laugh?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That shit destroyed.
You went back to the other club and found out that other guy is known as Crazy Larry.
No, I never saw that guy again. He disappeared in the wind.
Crazy, Larry.
And my the
He's
girl
never
I
been
was
to a
dating.
comedy show in his life.
Right, that was his first one. The girl I was dating at the time, like, I just remember her being like deathly silent on the way home. And the same women, and my dumb ass was like hanging out and shit after my set. You go home. After comics, after you bomb, you go home.
Yeah. Like Daniel Delano says, you go home with no music.
Yeah, you go home. You have to reevaluate things,
Drive home with no music.
Yes, you reevaluate things. But I tell comics, like, especially people that take the class, they get a graduation set and they get a video, and I'm like, don't put this on social media. Like, you're not good.
Yeah.
Because you're going to look back.
I
If
say
you
do it.
continue.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn the hard way.
Yeah, you say do it?
Yeah.
No, because, like, you're going to look back and be like, what the fuck was that?
Good.
If you continue to do comedy.
They say that's a sign of growth. Is cringing at your old
Oh,
self.
man. I had a Facebook video pop up where I did a show in LA. It's like 2010. I did 12 minutes. I think I got one legit laugh.
Yeah.
The rest of it was just fluff.
That's when you decided in your mind, no, the audience was wrong.
There
was
is
good.
no such thing. The only time I'll let a comic slide by with the audience with shit excuse is if it's ambush comedy.
Yeah.
If they didn't know
Yeah,
this
yeah.
comedy show was happening.
I hate that the most.
Yeah. Well, it's you. If you can get them during that, you good.
It feels good, yeah.
Yeah.
And I try my best to deal with it. I want to be one of those comics who is never in a situation where it's like, oh shit, I can't do my thing because the crowd didn't know this was gonna happen,
Yeah.
or the microphone's not working, or something like that. Like, I
That's
want to
the
be
only-
adaptable. The crowd is one race or another race. Like,
Well, you gotta be able to work in every room.
yeah,
You know?
that's how I feel.
Yeah, you got to be able to work in every room. I like to every now and then I get called to work with an older comic, older white guy, and I know his crowd.
Yeah.
It's not my crowd. You
Yeah.
know, I've done shows with him in Dothan, Alabama, and it has been me and the server were the
Yeah.
only black people in the trays. That was
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
black thing in there.
A Bert Kreischer show.
Yeah. Nah, Bert he gotta.
I don't know, man.
He's
It's
got-
a lot of white people.
It depends on where he is.
Well, they're all shaped the same as him.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
They all look exactly like him.
And
He's got a brand.
I like to do his rooms because I remember doing a show with him in Dothan, and I was like on stage counting the MAGA hats. I was like, oh, it's 7, 16. It is about 50 Trumpers in here. And it'd be so funny after the show. They'd be like, man, you good, man. We enjoyed it, man. It was funny. What's your name again?
One time, I was on tour with my band, and we stopped at like a McDonald's in like Kentucky or something like that. And there was this like 80-year-old man sitting at the table wearing a MAGA hat, and then another like old man came walking up to him and was like, "You got a lot of bravery wearing that hat, sir." Like giving him respects and stuff. I was like, how much bravery does it take to wear that hat in a town where everyone's exactly the same?
Right. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if he'd have been in like West Palm Beach, Florida, maybe. Like, he was in New Orleans, maybe. Yeah, what?
Wear that down at the forest in Atlanta and see how brave you feel
Man, listen.
with all the jean jackets and
Wear that bitch to Piedmont Park
yeah.
Sunday afternoon during
Bravery,
Jazz Fest.
Yeah, bravery.
Yeah.
That's brave.
Yo, yesterday this this white chick, I was at a mic and she said knickers. She was talking about, and all the comics, like we all looked up like, and I got on stage, I was like, yo, you brave as fuck. Like you flawlessly put any slip in that word.
Sometimes comics will say the word that starts with a W that describes like a white person that appropriates black culture.
Oh.
And I'm like, it doesn't hit right. It
Yeah.
doesn't roll off the tongue, man. You
Yeah.
might want to put that one away.
That's one of them words. I want to do a reality show where like I get white people drunk and make them say all those words and see who makes it through. Like, all right, you got to say knickers fast 5 times. Let's go. You win the money.
But, as a comic, like, certain things are taboo, right? So you almost want to say the word, right? That you're not allowed to say.
I think different, like white comics can get away with shit that I can't, but I can get away with shit that white comics can't. And I think
I guess
that's
that's true.
that's a fucked up part of comedy.
Masturbation jokes, incest jokes.
Yeah, like if I say that shit,
pedophile
everybody be
jokes.
look like, bruh, what the fuck are you talking about? I tell people, man, like it's certain topics.
Suicide jokes.
Yeah, certain topics that are off limits in certain rooms. Like if you do a mainstream room, if you at the Skull on the weekend, don't talk about death and don't talk about dogs. If you talk shit about animals, the white people will clinch up and be like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try that.
I did last week to start my host set. And I'm telling you, I was like, man, I got a fucking dog. And I said, man, I'm going to kill this dog. And everybody just was like,
How long have you been hosting the open mic at Laughing Skull?
since I've been doing the class.
How long
Yeah.
has that been?
Since 2019, early
Okay.
2019. Yeah,
That's not too long ago. 4 years ago.
yeah. I was almost about to quit, and then they raised the pay. I was like, all right, I'm staying a little bit longer. That was okay.
Have you learned anything from hosting the open mic? Have you seen anything crazy? 'Cause I feel like an open mic is like just anybody could sign up for that. And I feel like the Laughing Skull is one of the ones that comes up first when you Google like,
Absolutely.
how to start stand-up comedy
Absolutely.
in Atlanta.
Well, yeah. The thing about the skull is, and you probably can get this metaphor at being a musician. I tell people it's like the radio station.
Yeah.
Like as a rapper, as a singer, everyone makes a song and they run right to the radio station. And they're
Right.
like, play my song.
Yeah.
And you don't understand, like, these people get paid for advertisements. That's why you hear the same fucking song. Because if they play your new shit that don't nobody know, people turn.
Yeah.
And then they won't hear the ads and they can't get paid.
Yeah.
So with the skull, everyone runs to the skull and they thinks like, oh, this is how I start my comedy career in Atlanta. So you have somebody come do the mic, have a mediocre set at best, and be
Yeah.
like, hey man, how I get in that room on the weekend? And I'll be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
get funny.
That I think putting
Just
the
walk
room
off
there
on
is kind of like it's obviously gonna make comics want to get in that room though.
Yeah, but comics, nothing special is happening in this room. At best, they bring in some food.
Yeah.
Nothing special
Some
happens
Zaxby's.
in there. Nothing
It's
special.
too small. I don't even like going in there.
And especially like on the mic, right? I'm hosting a mic. It's 23 comics. By the 16th comic, all the comedians that are regulars are gone. And I'm just sitting in there on my computer checking fantasy scores. Like, people walk in, hey, man, what's going on in here? I'm like, nothing. Come have a seat. Keep me company. Thank
Yeah.
you. Comedy clubs, people think the green room is like the funnest shit ever. It's not. Green rooms at comedy clubs are depressing.
You're lucky to have a green room though on some shows.
Yeah, some shows. Dude, I do some shows some nights and don't even go out and talk to the crowd. Especially if I'm doing 2 back to back, I'll just sit in the green room.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want no bitches in the crowd. I ain't going out there. I'm going out there talking to them old ass men and shit. Fucking weird. People are weird after shows. That shit
But
get
you can get
awkward.
some new fans though, man. You gotta have a book with you. Be like, hey man, you're old and you probably got money. Buy my book.
Yeah, that's true. I do,
That's one thing I think that musicians are better at than comedians is peddling merch
absolutely.
and going on tour.
Yeah, absolutely. It's way more music venues.
Well, it's just there's a kind of a DIY network in the music world. Like everybody goes on tour. So I could hit up my friend in Richmond and say, hey man, can I crash on your couch? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, here's the door code, whatever. I used to do it. I used to have bands sleeping on my couch. Like my roommate who wasn't in the band would come home. There'd be like 6 dudes he didn't
like, what the
know sleeping on the floor. He'd be
I'm like,
like,
what the fuck?
well, you guys playing Swayze tomorrow or something?
Man, that shit. I'm at the point now in my career, man, where I gotta level up because I'm too old to be sleeping on couches, bro. But I got back
I
pain
used to love it,
and
though,
shit. I
man.
used to in my 30s, but in my 40s, fuck your couch, like
Dude,
literally.
we did one tour with the band. It was like we brought a photographer too to like make content for us. So it was like 6 of us in the van, and we had our buddy who was doing a lot of like tour managing at the time set up like his friends' houses for us to sleep at. I was praying for carpet. That's all I wanted.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, I don't need a bed. I don't need heat. I don't need air conditioning. Just please have carpet. And I would show up, be like, hardwood floor again.
man. I will say, doing comedy and couch surfing, I have slept on some of the worst and smelliest couches, bro. I could do a whole podcast about that shit.
Especially like East Coast, there's not a whole lot of places to camp out, I think. Not a whole lot of places where you can just park your van and set up a tent or something like
Yeah.
that. They'll come harass you.
But it's money out there though. Like if you willing to, kind of stay on the road and smell some feet on couches and
You'll
know.
meet somebody. somebody will be like, well, this guy is really working hard for this. I'm going to put him up.
Yeah.
And people respect that when you just go out on the road.
Yeah.
I have a baby now and a wife and whatnot, so.
Yeah, you gotta make it count.
Yeah.
When you don't have no attachments and no family to take care of, you can go out on some voyage shit. You can come back home. You got paid in mozzarella sticks and beer. You like, yeah, I'm living the life.
People
Try
act
that
like
shit
there's
when you got a wife.
no adventure anymore, man. But you can go out there. There's gonna be a Taco Bell somewhere.
Yeah. The hardest thing
You'll
for me
make it.
now is eating on the road.
Yeah.
Because I'm not vegan no more, but I was vegan for a while. That shit gets annoying on the
Yeah.
road. Especially if you got comics with you that's not vegan.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, let's just fucking go to Steak and Shake. You're like, bitch, it's nothing I can eat. It's Steak and Shake. And then you find yourself being the guy at the restaurant's like, hey, do you put meat in the beans? And they like, get your ass out of here, man. But comedy, man, that's why, dude, I've known more comedians that have died than I know, like, gangsters that have died, you know, because it's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You up all night most of the time.
Yeah.
You drinking, you smoking cigarettes, you smoking weed.
Yeah.
You get all types of drugs offered to you. A guy
Yeah.
offered me some meth one time at Stand Up Huntsville. And I just looked at him. I'm like, what about me says I do meth? Like, you got a joint. Like, let's do that. But, like, what about me? Look, I got teeth. Like,
Yeah.
what about me says I do meth?
I don't really have a lot of interest in doing drugs anymore, luckily, because it's like you'll just be sitting in a green room sometimes and somebody will walk in. They're like a video game vendor. They have every drug imagining.
Oh, yeah.
Like one time I was in the green room of a show, like somebody hooked me up with like a showcase spot. It was at a comedy club in Texas. This girl walked in and just had everything, like pills, weed,
Yeah.
mushrooms,
Yeah.
acid. I was like, what is happening right
Because
now?
comedy is the fucking breeding ground for degenerates. So it's like, of course people got every type of drug there is. Like, you know you've made it when the club owner or like the booking manager starts to offer you drugs. Like,
Yeah.
well, you didn't necessarily made it, but if you headlining or if you like to feature that weekend.
Oh, I've been paid in weed before.
Oh, yeah, me too. I still
know.
take it. Shit, especially that because I don't smoke. I'm selling that shit. I'm finna get all my money. Yes, sir. Man, I ain't got the money, but I give you this half a pound. Let me see what that shit look like. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I can get about 700, 800 for this. Hell yeah, give it to me. Yes, sir.
Well, with a name like Plug.
Yeah. Yeah. People ask me too at shows, they be like, You got weed? I'm like, not on me. I do special deliveries. I don't watch just who the fuck rides around just with an ounce sacked up ready to sell. You're an idiot. Don't
There's
do
people in Atlanta.
that. Do not do that.
I've met them at open mics.
Do not do that.
How
No.
much you need, man?
Yeah, just go in his sack. Yeah, man, here you go. Like, bruh. Yeah, I don't. Nah, those days are over. I got drug charges. I'm not riding around with weed.
Yeah. Well, in in Atlanta, I don't think they take you to jail or anything. A bug? Uh-oh.
No, not no more. Back when I was doing my thing, they took your ass to jail.
Yeah.
I went to Rice Street one night for a fucking blunt.
Yeah.
A blunt. Yeah, you heard that right. One blunt. No, I'm on Rice Street. I went to pre-trial down on P Street.
Should we kill that thing?
Yeah. He was a guess.
You're a vegan, so
So he's dying. You make it this far, mother.
what should I kill him with? Plug's book?
No, don't do that. That definitely will get the trick done.
Here he comes. Oh, no, I missed.
Up. He's still going to be alive.
Oh, man.
I was like, I don't think the cord is moving on my arm.
Damn, sorry about that, man.
No, you good. Bro, hey, man.
We fixed the problem.
I used to live in Joe's apartment. Y'all remember that movie?
Uh,
Y'all might be too young.
No.
Yeah, y'all might be too young.
I used to have roaches at my old apartment, and I did everything to get rid of them, but they would always come back.
Yeah.
I did the baits, I did the sprays, I did the
Boric acid.
Yeah.
Dude, I lived in an apartment in Valdosta, Georgia when I was an undergrad. Bro, when I tell you, I have nightmares about them roaches sometimes. Like, it was so bad. If you cooked something, you had a 40-second window to get that shit off the stove. Because if you just turn around and if you go to the bathroom, when you come back, oh, that shit's just raided. So we tried to flood them bitches out. Like, we tried everything. The fucking apartment flooded one day. And we was like, yeah, them roaches is dead. Shit, them bitches was floating on coasters. Them bitches made it.
Yeah.
It turns out the people on both sides of us were dirty as fuck. So the roaches would just switch apartments.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, man, I was banging this chick on the couch one night, and we had the lights off. And she was like, would you stop tickling me? I was like, bitch, I'm not tickling you. And she was like, we kept going, and she's like, stop it. And I was like, stop what? I cut the light on. There's like 7 roaches on this bitch. And she was like, ah! But this is how you know you laying it down. She got the roaches off and was like, all right, come on. She didn't go home, so.
Yeah. They're the little bastards.
They fuckers.
You do have to, like, keep your stuff clean, but then also you have to rely on your neighbors to also be proactive. Like, one time I was working on a computer. This guy they were nesting inside the computer. There were so many of them. And they love computers, too, because
it's hot.
They're warm.
Yeah.
And so I had to put it in a bag and, like, with some rubbing alcohol. And just seal the bag and leave it for, like, a day. And I had to tell him, I was like, man, it's going to take a while. Cause
if they get in the car, that's a bitch, too.
Yeah.
Ants in the car, anything in the car. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have roaches or rats?
Roaches.
Man, I done had both, boy. Them rats, them rats is a motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't like the rats. They're big in there.
Yeah, they some dude. I had them in my house because I live on the belt line, and so when they started breaking the ground for the belt line, especially in the winter, like all them shits try to come inside because it's cold. Boy, I done seen some monsters in my basement. I'm talking about. I had to find. Turns out, I had an open sewage line or something. It was like this little fucking bullshit ass vent that was on top of it. And so my brother comes over and he looks down. He's like, that goes directly underground. That might be your problem. So I went and bought some heavy ass like gravel, like rocks, and dropped them down in there. Do you know that motherfuckers knocked the rocks out? Like, rats are some, boy, rats are some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And we put poison down, and we ended up getting, I think I might got one now, but I used to see, bro, I would go in my basement, it would just be droppings everywhere. I'd be like, what the fuck? And no lie, I saw one that was dead, that was about the size of that fucking book. And they say you can tell rats' age is by the length of their tail. Well, this motherfucker was here back with the Stone Age, because this bitch's tail was about long as this damn cord. I ain't want to pick it up. I thought it was a possum. I was like, how the fuck a possum get in here? That's how and my buddy was, that's a rat. I was like, God damn. Yeah, you right. I'd rather have roaches.
I went to New York a few times, and the rats run the city up there.
They don't give a fuck. New York rats, they gave me directions one night. I was lost in the Bronx. The rat was like, where you trying to get, the 45th Street train? You gotta go down there, motherfucker. Them rats don't give a fuck.
They outline the city grid.
Yeah.
Every line in the city has rats running.
They don't give a shit. The worst, dude, I saw a fight my family lives in the Bronx. I saw a fight one night, and you know up there, like, you seen it. A lot of the restaurants and shit just put the trash like in a pile outside. And I saw a dude get knocked into like a fucking trash can. Bruh. It was like, dude was like, he had the rats on his team. The guy that beat, like, hit him. He fell down and the other guy fell into the trash and the rats was just like, shh. He was like, ah! He forgot he was fighting. He was like, fuck him. He was like, ah! Man, that shit was so funny. Yeah, the rats in New York don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you a place in Atlanta where the rats don't give a fuck either. Cleveland Avenue.
Where's that at?
Go on, down right before you get to the airport off 75. Okay. Well, you can get it on 75 or 85.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. You see rats in broad daylight just waiting at stoplights. Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Even like little 5 Points. I see a lot of rats over there.
We got Atlanta. My mom used to work for the CDC catching rats back when I was a kid.
Wow.
And I remember one time she picked me up
to
from
do
school.
experiments on 'em?
Hell no. She used to have to go and catch him, and she would have them sometimes like in traps, like in the car. When I was a yeah, bro. When I was a kid, and I remember like one time, she was like, "Put your book bag in the car." She had picked me up from school, and I opened the trunk, and it was this rat in this trap. She's like, "Yeah!" I was like, "Motherfucker!" And my mom was like, "I get it. I'll let you get away with that one."
Yeah, I had to kill one time.
Oh, they suck.
You gotta let them know. Like,
I'm diabolical.
come around here, you're getting the
When
sword.
You ever hear one get caught on a trap? Yeah, they make this.
Yeah, I don't like to do like the spring traps because I don't want to like
remove it.
suffer.
You gotta remove it.
So I'll catch them and then
You don't want them to suffer.
I give
Fuck
them the
them.
jihadi.
Hilarious. That's worse.
I give them a warrior's death.
It's a new trap that they have that's different from the snap ones. This one is like plastic, but it's got claws. Like inside of like when it snaps, it fucks them. I'm talking about they fucking get twisted and shit. I'm gonna tell you the traps that ain't shit. Them fucking plastic, the sticky traps.
Sticky traps? Yeah.
Fuck those traps.
Yeah, no.
I've seen a rat rip his own fucking arm off to get off one of those traps. I've seen one try to pull that bitch through the wall where he came in. But rats,
Yeah.
they've outlived.
You got to do it in a
alligators.
humane way, like at least.
Yeah, rats, man. Ugh.
Nah, I like a bucket of water. Make him suffer.
Oh, you ever seen the guy on YouTube?
no,
He got that trap when he sends them to the water. They just be in there, bitch, finna die. Yeah, buddy, get him. I used to get high and watch those videos for hours.
I'll send them to Valhalla, put them in a boat, and then shoot it with a flaming arrow.
Hilarious. Yeah, fuck them rats, man. If a chick come over your house and see a rat, the date is over.
Yeah.
Like, she might live with roaches.
Yeah.
But rats, she going home. And if she stay, you don't want that pussy.
Yeah.
You don't want none of that. That's struggle pussy. You don't want none of that right there.
I had one lizard in here for like 2 weeks when I would see him regularly, but it took me a while to catch him. But I finally got him, and I let that guy go because it's a lizard.
Yeah, lizard. Yeah, you can live with those.
Yeah, his reptilian overlords will come back if you kill him.
Come
They'll be
here,
like,
bitch,
I
be a
saw
co-
what you did.
Komodo dragon gonna be in this bitch one night.
Your shadow band.
I had a spider one time in my house so big that bitch was casting a shadow off the wall. That's how big.
Yeah.
But a lot of those big spiders ain't poisonous though.
I've been having
They
some
just scary to look at.
problems with spiders lately. They say they don't like peppermint because I don't want to spray a bunch of chemicals around,
He's like, here, Spidey, you want a peppermint?
I said they don't like peppermint oil, so I've been spreading some peppermint scented oils around.
So your house smell good, but really
Yeah.
you just trying to kill spiders. Look at you.
Well, I was just trying to keep them away from like certain areas.
Oh yeah, 'cause you got a baby in the house now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that shit. Yeah.
But there's also kind of like a little creek behind my house.
So you got mosquitoes bad too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That was the one thing that I did not miss when I lived in California. Is no mosquitoes. You just sit outside on the porch all day. Now, you might get shot to drive by, but
Yeah.
there's no mosquitoes.
The wrong mosquito will end your life.
Oh, mosquitoes, motherfuckers.
Your eyeballs will melt out of your skull.
Dude, I was my adventurous ass. I was down in Colombia, and I wanted to go to the Amazon, and this guy was like, "You don't want to do that." I was like, yeah, man. Like it's been on my bucket list since I was a kid. He
Wearing a
was like,
spacesuit in there.
he's like, nah. He was like, dude, they got mosquitoes down there that are the size of your fucking hand.
It's
that
true.
if they bite you, you're gonna be in trouble.
Because it's a totally different ecosystem, too. So your body doesn't have the same immunity as somebody who grows up around there.
Right.
And so that can make it even worse. I've seen people who went to South America for like mission trips and things like that come back all
Fucked up. Yeah. The deeper south you go, you better go to Cartagena. You might come back with like VD or something, but you can cure that. The deeper you go in South America, the more riskier you making it.
Yeah.
My buddy went and he went on an Amazon tour. He's like, yeah, man, I got this mosquito repellent. And I'm like, American mosquito repellent? He's like, yeah. I was like, they gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
And he got back and showed me a picture of his leg. I was like, I told you.
Yeah. Things falling off.
It's like, what the fuck? I had some mosquito repellent from here in the Bahamas, and not Nassau. I go down to a little place. It's the furthest point of the Bahamas. It's called Marsh Harbor.
Yeah.
If you ever go, those mosquitoes, boy, they got mosquitoes and sandflies.
You gotta rub some peppermint oil on you.
I don't even know if that'll work. You better take some prosthetic legs, motherfucker, and put them over your real legs.
Yeah,
You
spacesuit.
fucked up.
It is named after two of Mosquito's favorite places.
You know what you
A
just said?
marsh
Some
and
real
a
shit.
harbor.
You are I never thought about that. That is real. Dude, I was in Colombia and they got this mud volcano, which is some cool shit if you ever get to go. Because it's yeah, man, that shit is cool. Yeah, look up mud volcano Cartagena. And yep, that's it. So it's a real volcano, not actually. So you can't sink because of the mud. You go up, you get in, and they got these Colombian dudes in there to fucking give you a massage. And you think you don't want a massage from a guy until he like starts like, yeah, those the guys right there. Then they start like massaging your shoulders and your back, and you like, okay, I can get with this.
Yeah, meanwhile the other guy's feeling up your wife.
Yeah, now that's the thing. Do not take your girl because you're gonna get very upset. Because he's gonna get some frills and thrills. Absolutely. Boy. So we get there. If you go to the mud volcano, go in the middle of the day. Do not go at dusk. Because that shit, if you saw it, that shit sits in the swamp.
Yeah.
So we get there. It's like an hour before nightfall. And we decided we wanted to eat because they got like a couple of local restaurants right there. So they do the seafood and stuff. And so at this time, my Spanish was really bad. It's just bad now. But back then, it was really bad. And they was rushing us. They was like, hey, you gotta come on. And we was like, chill out, motherfucker. We trying to enjoy some food. So we get up there. We get done in the mud volcano. We're in there like 20, 30 minutes. We get down. So you go down into like this little water part of like the swamp where you wash the mud off. And you know the first thing I asked, I was like, ain't no crocodiles in this bitch. They was like, nah. Bro.
Nah.
Bro. When the fucking night hit, the mosquitoes, they was like the I Am Legend zombies. Like as soon as it got dark, bruh. You can hear them. Like the locals went to running. I'm talking about, bruh. That shit got real. So we had an Airbnb. We had a taxi. And my cousin is trying to get this chick's phone number, right? The door is open to the taxi, so the light's on. You could see them shits. Like they flying through the car. I was like, bring your ass home, bro. We got wept up. We got back to the house that night. I'm like, God damn it. So yeah, that mud volcano.
Think about how fragile a human is. Like one tiny little mosquito could end it all.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that trip was fun.
I think about like evolution wise, like how come humans are the ones that evolved when there's like tens of billions times more insects if it's just purely a numbers game of like
that's a good question.
Probability, right? There's way more insects, so you would think they would be the ones to get smarter and build stuff.
I don't know, man, because you can't really underestimate the knowledge of an animal. You know, we think dogs are the smartest or whatever. People say, oh, cats are smart or whatever. Yeah, they are. But we spend the most time around domesticated animals. You don't know how smart a fucking orangutan is. You don't know how smart a hippo is. You don't know how fucking polar bears.
Yeah.
Orcas. You ever see them shits get together and knock shit off the ice and eat it? I'm like, that's fucking genius.
But they don't like travel to space and do nuclear physics and whatnot.
Not a lot of Teslas around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because we might be holding them back, you know. It might be a fucking polar bear that's very capable of goddamn curing cancer.
Always the human's fault.
Yeah, always.
You think maybe like, what if you got to the end of the world and they told you that like the bugs were actually running the whole show,
I would believe it.
and they opened a room that has like the ruler of the world, and it's just like a bunch of bees.
I believe it was like a praying mantis. He just turns around in his chair. He's like, I'll be like, yeah, I knew it.
Plug, I've been waiting for you.
Hello, Plug. Do you have weed with you? Yeah, I do.
Or the roaches. What if it's the roaches?
Oh, that shit'll suck.
What if you turn around and it's the king rat?
Oh, that'll
The rats
suck.
have been running the whole show.
I would off myself as soon as I found out.
They did all of it. They assassinated JFK.
Do you want to know a scary fact?
What if you found out Kanye's just a bunch of rats in a human suit?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Do
He
you
wears
know?
a mask when he doesn't want to do makeup.
Do you know that rats outnumber humans severely?
So
Like,
they could be planning something.
yeah, because one mom used to tell me, she'd be like, and this was back in the 80s. She's like, it's like 6-1 rats to humans. So if they all just decided that they was just going to come up, it's like, you know what? Fuck this sewer shit. Fuck this underground shit. We want some of these buildings. And they
Yeah.
just decided they going to come take over.
Yeah.
We would be fucked.
Planet of the rats.
Yeah, we would be, yeah. That's scary. Some scary shit to think about. Because they bite.
Google here says that there is roughly 1 rat per person. So really, if we like each picked a rat, we could eradicate them.
On Earth.
You know,
Everybody
if everybody
kill
had
a
to
rat.
kill 1 rat. Do your part.
Yeah.
Do your part,
That
kill
sounds
a
like
rat.
an infomercial. Do you want to get rid of the rats? Do you know there's 1 rat to every human? Do your part. Kill a rat. Start in New York.
I killed 10 today.
It's like, what is it, syphilis, where if everybody stopped fucking for 1 week exactly, we could be rid of it forever as a race.
No.
I
that the
take my
one?
chances with the rats. There's going to be a prostitute somewhere like, fuck that, I got bills to pay, motherfucker.
It will never happen.
No.
But- It theoretically could.
It could.
Well, also,
Weirdly
you know,
easily.
if everybody was nice and was a good person, then there would be no war or struggle or greed or
But then, would life be fun?
without like,
You got to have some fucking idiots. Like,
yeah, the oppression.
you
and
gotta have, somebody's gotta shake up the board. Like, you gotta have, let's think about how life would be if everyone just followed suit and everybody just played nice and was courteous and fucking let you
yeah,
get over on
Be
the
lame.
highway. Like, it's gotta be somebody's, that's what
Yeah.
makes life fun.
you need somebody like
Gotta have tyrants.
Hitler.
Yeah, you gotta have, maybe not. Yeah. Yes, you gotta have fuckery to keep it is a circle of life. It keeps life flowing. You gotta have fuck shit. You got to.
There has to be evil for good to exist.
Absolutely.
I think the aliens designed all of that intentionally. I don't know why, but
You believe in aliens?
oh
For
yeah,
fun, obviously, Billy.
yeah, I'm deep in it. You believe any conspiracy theories? Definitely aliens.
I believe in a few. Aliens, I really hadn't.
I think they walk among us.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen a person that kind of look like a goblin?
I've seen plenty. I fucked a few too. Hey,
You
you get hard up, you'd be surprised what you do. Alien pussy might be good.
You talk to a person for like 5 minutes, and you're like, "Are you human, or is there something else in there?"
You know, man, when it comes to conspiracy theories, I tell you the biggest one that I got. I don't think Magic Johnson got AIDS. I do not think Magic Johnson got AIDS. I think that Magic, because Arthur Ashe died of AIDS, and he was a tennis player. But let's face it, tennis ain't really a popular sport. Like, nobody listens to a tennis player. Think about it. Magic Johnson made this announcement. He had won a couple championships. He's at the end of his career, right? And I think they was like, hey, Magic, look, we need somebody to get on TV and talk about this new disease that we've made. And we're going to fuck people in the future. So this is what we need you to do. We're going to give you a bunch of money. You're never going to have to worry about money. You're going to be successful. You're going to live a very long life. We just need you to say that you got this disease that everybody should be scared of. And your son going to be gay. That's it. That's it. Your son gonna be a crossdresser, but that's it.
Nah, I think he was fucking, and that's how he
Well,
got
no, that's not in question. He was well, fucking NBA player. It's an NBA player that sits on the end of the bench that got bitches. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's what makes him such a good candidate. You've won me over. I'm on board fully.
I had an uncle. Well, he wasn't my uncle per se, but we had a family friend, and he was very successful. Back in the day. Now, he owned a shitload of now he didn't have NBA money, but also back then NBA players weren't making what they make now, right?
Yeah.
The guy who I'm talking about, he owned a shitload of beauty salons and barbershops in Atlanta back in the 80s. He got AIDS and he died very quickly. So if there was a cure you could pay for of anything, he would have bought that shit.
I think this is deep.
Magic then got fat.
They might come for me for saying this, but I think AIDS was a deep state creation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything that
I thought that was common knowledge now.
I think they were homophobic probably, and
got
they
out
were
of
doing
hand.
eugenics.
it got out of
and
hand.
Probably a lot of ex-Nazi scientists
Yeah.
threw this thing together.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, here we go.
We gonna get rid of this population of people, but they didn't account for the guys that would dip and dab with both sides. They didn't account for the guys going to prison and thinking, well, shit, I'm gonna be in here forever. I'm out well, fucker, man.
Yeah.
And then they get AIDS, and then next thing you know, they up for a parole hearing. Got them and they out, and they back to my regular life. I ain't did none of that shit when I was in jail. So of course, of course.
Lab grown.
Now they have a new pill or some shit you can take, and it's like a HPV prevent. Now you can get the HPV shot. You can do that for AIDS now. It's like, oh yeah, you can. I mean, I wouldn't
prep.
Right. I wouldn't take my chances, but
And I think have also
That's
heard
short.
that some people are saying it might be killing people also.
Is that short for prepare your anus?
I think so, yes. That's a fair assumption, I think, Billy.
Come on.
The logic
hilarious.
follows.
I'm not the one that named it.
that's hilarious. Bro, you are absolutely right. Because it's got to be man-made. It's got to be man-made. So anything that
They've
they
done
make,
it before.
they got a cure for the common cold. But they're not finna give it to you.
It.
Cancer.
Man, they got a cure for all that
They've
shit.
had cancer for a minute, I think.
But they're not finna give it to you because if
No.
they give it to you, they don't make no money.
They don't control you.
They don't make no money. Think about, you can look up all the people that have invented things that would make life smoother. You've got people that invented cars that run on water. You got people that invent light bulbs that never go out. Those people are dead. The government, when they find out you trying to cut into their
That's
sack,
the rats.
it's going to be an old white man. It's going to be on your porch, and you're going to come home one day. He's going to pew, pew, and that's it.
They send the rats for him.
Yeah.
The king of the rats.
The government ain't shit.
That's how they got Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
The rats. Well, imagine Jeffrey Epstein was sitting in his cell. He just sees one rat, and he's like, "Oh, there's a rat," and then
It's
he just sees
100.
20 more show up at his cell. He's
Yeah.
like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, man.
They
Damn,
morph into the shape of Hillary Clinton.
hilarious. Damn the Crips and the Bloods, the police, the government is the biggest gangsters
Yeah.
around this
Yeah.
bitch. They will kill you.
It's one big organization, and I mean, what's a gang? Like a organization of people who have weapons,
And common interests.
and yeah,
Yeah.
And extortion is a pretty big part.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
selling drugs. They do that sometimes. They've been
Bruh.
known to.
Ain't no AK-47s made in the hood. The police bring them shits in. The government give them to the police. Be like, hey, take this box of 9mm and sit them behind the dumpster on Bankhead in the middle of the night when ain't nobody out there.
Oh yeah, you saw when there was like protests and stuff going on. There'd be just pallets of bricks, just like somebody's shaking something up.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have fuckery. You gotta have fuckery.
Somebody's got to shake the cage a little.
Because it's a pallet of bricks, and most people are gonna walk by and go, damn, how those bricks get there? But it's gonna be that one person that's gonna take the brick and throw the brick. It's always.
Do you think that any guys who were like landscapers or masons for their day job saw those bricks and were like, I'm going to make a lot of money on my next contract.
yeah,
I'm going to take all these bricks and lay somebody's backyard.
Right.
No material
Fuck
cost.
Home Depot. Nah, they would have been smart too, but they would have had to been out there. They would have had to fight off the fuckers who want to throw the bricks.
Yeah, you gotta get a truck.
I was on Twitter during a lot of the protests, and I was kind of like, I can usually find what I'm looking for on the internet, so I would find both sides, like people on a, either side of the aisle at the protests, find their Twitters and stuff. They'd be like,
Oh, wow.
U-Haul trucks. I've always been really good at finding what I want on the internet. If you want to find like crazy stuff, I can help.
I believe it. You look like you know how to find crazy shit on the internet.
Plug's face
For-
when you were saying that, Billy, was just like,
Research
what am I doing in
research
this room?
purposes only. Research purposes only. Scientific purposes only. But I was seeing a lot of like
You look like you know how to access the dark web.
U-Haul trucks will pull up with a bunch of like gear, like homemade riot shields, signs that were already written,
No shit.
printed on, stuff like that. Yeah.
No shit. Billy look like he know how to get black mambas, like male from Africa. Like, hey, you want a pit viper? I know how to
I
get.
can find them.
Yeah, I bet.
Starting a snake fighting ring with the Atlantic.
I know
comedy
how to
scene.
look for things. That's the problem.
Speaking of, like, how much do you pay for a black mamba?
The problem isn't like me being weird, is that Google only shows you what Google wants you to see.
That's true.
Because they could totally help you buy a black mamba on the internet, but they choose not to.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know what? I know it's out there. I'm going to find it.
Do you know how many irresponsible people would try to buy a fucking black mamba and be at Piedmont Park and shit like, hey, look at my, oh shit, it bit me.
Usually,
This is a snake.
yeah. What you want to do, if you want to find something, you find an article or something about that. Like somebody,
Black mamas, I guess, aren't that expensive.
Does that say $150?
That's what it says.
Hell no.
the venomous snake.
We should maybe get one for the studio.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, well, this is going to be my last podcast because I'm not coming back over this month.
It can eat the bugs.
Shit, he going to eat more than that.
Look how cute he is.
They eat the rats.
I don't fuck with snakes.
But yeah, like if it's something illegal you're looking for, you find like a news article that talks about somebody who got arrested, and then they say they bought it on this website or something like that.
That makes
And
sense.
then you start searching for that website. You start plugging in .com, .org,
I tell you what I do want. I want one of them AK-47s that's got the knife on the front, like how they used to have in the wars. You know what I mean? I do want one of those. I'm gonna
You can
find
get
one.
those.
Yeah, I'm gonna find one.
They're
of
the
them
AK-47 is a lot more expensive now.
shit. They are.
If you really need like an assault weapon, you can buy an AR-15 for like $500.
I already got one of those. On
Those things are cheap.
yeah.
It's like the
But it used to be like the AK was a little bit cheaper, I think.
Yeah, they were. They were. And then now they got a bunch of. I want the wood one. I want the
Yeah.
original one. I don't want that old plastic.
I have a friend who has all that stuff.
Man, I do too.
He's
His
like
name
a
is Darut.
Gun collector. Yeah, Darut, yeah.
Darut got all that shit, man.
He's one of them.
I tell Darut, I'm like, bro, if somebody was just fucking wandering out and wanted to break into a house, your house would be the wrong house to break in.
Unless he's not there, then you get to steal all those expensive guns.
Yeah, but shit, that dude got fucking smashed.
yeah. Hopefully, he has a safe if he has that much.
Dude, he's got. The last time I went out to his house to shoot, he had 4 of the gun safes,
Yeah.
and all of them bitches are full. Like, this is the wrong person.
That's too much for me. Like I enjoy shooting guns as much as the next guy, but
I know guys
I
that
don't
don't
need
like to
all
shoot.
of
I'm
them.
like, man, fucking, when your period come?
yeah, that's lame.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? What you gonna do when the zombies come? Throw rocks? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Be a man. Shoot
Yeah.
a gun and then make love to a woman.
Yo, if you want a cool date idea and if you've never taken a girl to a gun range, take her. You are gonna score after
Depends
that
on the
date.
girl. She might.
Yeah, you might die if you do that.
Yeah.
Which is really, it's a win-win situation if you think about it.
Oh,
That's funny.
that's what we're talking about. White people, we can make jokes like that.
That is funny. Yeah, gun ranges.
Jokes about wanting to die.
But that's an expensive date though, especially if you don't have like your own shit.
Yeah, but now you got to convince a lady to go to a field with you.
The one by my work, I think it's like $10 to rent the gun, and then you pay for the range time. It's like $100 a person. At
That's
the
a
end of the
lot.
day. If you're renting everything, but that's not that much for a date.
Shit, I'm cheap.
Although that's about as much as you would spend on like Korean barbecue, probably.
I'm cheap. I'm cheap. When it comes to that, that's why I'm single now, because I ain't gonna say I'm cheap. I just don't like to invest early that much.
Maybe not $100 a person. Maybe like $100 total for
Yeah,
both,
okay,
both of y'all.
yeah.
I think.
Because the lane rental is pretty much what's costly. I normally take I always take my own guns, my own
Yeah.
bullets.
Yeah.
So it's just and I got the ear protectors and I wear glasses, so I cheat with these. Like I got on glasses.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what makes it expensive. But I've also been where I hadn't had any of that shit, and that's a high ass bill. Cause the girl's gonna want to always shoot the biggest shit she sees.
Yeah.
Let's shoot that one. And I always like, we are not shooting no 30-06. That rifle,
$3 a bullet.
right? I don't believe in black people. You should not shoot 30-06s. That is the gun that almost ended the civil rights movement. You do not shoot that gun. You do not. All of our prominent leaders, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, was all shot with 30-06s. Fuck that gun.
Black Panthers, people don't talk about. They were all assassinated by the CIA or
Yeah,
thrown in prison
Yeah, fucking
on false charges.
Yeah, what's the one? Fred Hammond.
Like all of them. When you look into it, it's like, oh my God, the CIA literally assassinated all these
Yeah.
FBI. Or
The
whoever it
government,
was.
but the government is the biggest gangsters there is. Have you seen that movie? What is it? What's the name of that damn film with your boy when he played the Black Panther and then the other guy?
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that one.
That's a good movie.
I wanted to see it.
Yeah, that's
Forrest Gump.
No,
No.
you're talking about the one with Lakeith Stanfield,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That's a good movie, man. It's
I need to watch that one.
Well, as a black guy, it pissed me off, but it's
Well, on that bright note, we're a little over an hour.
Wait till the black man
Well,
gets mad and we're gonna end the podcast.
No, we usually only go an hour, and I think we're quite a bit over because 107. I was having a good time, but yeah, on the very light note of the CIA assassinating prominent black leaders. Hey, I don't, you know.
Oh man, I was a criminal justice major in college, and the FBI came and recruited at my college and was like, "You want to apply for the FBI?" I was like, "No,
Yeah, you gotta change it from within, man.
no, nah."
You
Because
gotta,
I'm the person that always finds the fuck shit at work. I'd have been dead before I got a boot camp. They'd been like, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking strangle this guy."
Yeah.
Plug walks into the wrong
Serpico.
room on his first day.
Right,
They gotta off him. He's like, you weren't supposed to see
You
that
weren't supposed
alien.
to see that.
yeah, you weren't supposed to see the rats.
Yeah, it's King Rat.
You walk in on current alive Martin Luther King Jr. tied up in a room, and they're like, we gotta kill him now.
Him and Tupac. Because I don't think Tupac is dead.
They're playing.
Yes.
They're
What
playing
if-
dominoes in a room.
Hilarious.
What if they peel back the curtain? It was Magic Johnson.
Oh shit, that'd be funny as shit.
Like, I gotta keep all the other black people down.
It's like you doing the opposite. The only, and I say this before we go, the only prominent leader that wasn't killed by 30-06 was Malcolm X. He got shot with a fucking, what was that? They didn't even do him the honor of the 30-06. They shot him with like a fucking 38. It was 9mm or some shit.
CIA, man.
CIA,
Another
bro.
one.
Them motherfuckers, boy.
It's like anybody who rises to a certain like.
Yeah,
level, it's
that's
like,
why we ain't got no black leaders right now. They be like, "Hey, you want to lead?" Hell no. Goddamn government, just let me stay back here and give y'all orders. The government is coming as soon as you get organized.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know.
That's how you know they do the hits, because it's perfect. Like
What?
they will take me out right now, shoot past your ear, past this mic, and hit me center mass. Pow! Ain't nobody doing that but trained assassins.
Yeah, too influential, I guess.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty messed up.
Hey, that's the government. That's why I'm trying to move to Colombia.
The King's Guard, a memoir. Check it out. Anything else you want to plug or say or?
Nah, shit. Man, nah, that's it, man.
Thanks for
having
coming
me.
out, man.
Appreciate it, man. Anytime, as long as you ain't got no black mamas, I'm down.
Yes.
I'm down to come through.
I can help you find one.
Nah, I'm good. I am good on that shit.
All right. Peace, y'all.